Hiya YouTube. Today we are going to look at how to buy cars, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at Facebook Marketplace, which is perhaps the most dodgy place to buy cars, and we're going to be looking at sub £1,000 cars, which is the most dodgy section to be buying in. And we think that we can do this and still get a good result. Stick with me, I'll show you how we do it.
What I'm going to do here now, I'm going to look on Facebook Marketplace. And what would we buy on Facebook Marketplace? So the thing that we would always buy is Toyotas. So we'll just check in here, Toyota. So do we want an Avensis, an Yaris, or an Avensis? So a couple of things. This 1 litre petrol in a Yaris, probably not great. But we can scroll through that and we can pick the one we fancy. Look at that, 150k. .3 petrol. Drive spot on, failed on one patch of welding as CV boot. This to me is a great deal. Patch of welding, 200 quid for patch of welding. CV boot, 150 quid, £1,000, you've got a nice little car that runs and drives. So what would I buy? That's how I would buy cars. That's how I always buy cars. You look at something like a RAV4 or a CRV. CRV is very common for corrosion on CRVs. Ford Focuses, don't buy the 1 litre EcoBoost, etc, 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 etc. Anything with a DSG box or an automated manual box, forget it, don't even bother, don't go there, manual all the way, etc, etc, etc. You get that by working in the trade for a long time and knowing what goes on and what doesn't, but you could get that through research as well, and sit there, spend some time on Google, go, what are the common problems on this, that and the next thing, get an idea of the car that you're going to buy and whether it's going to be reliable for you. That's what we do. That's why we buy cars for a few £100. V5 is a big deal. So this is how I look for V5s and look to see whether it's worthwhile. So go to the DVLA website, DVLA MOT status. Don't do a history check yet, just check the MOT status. What's all this? Google, sort your act out. Check the MOT status of the vehicle, right? So this one was Whiskey Mike 07 FKT. I hope it was anyway. Is it a silver Toyota Yaris? Yes, this is great. So look, it's got an MOT for a whole week yet. But look at this. Look at this. If you scroll down here, this is the latest date that the V5 has been issued. This one, 31st of May 2019. I say, we've had this absolutely donkey's years. When the V5 comes and the seller shows you the V5, first of all, don't buy a car without a V5. But when the seller shows you the V5, that date should be on the V5. If that doesn't match up with the V5 that you're looking at, you might have a problem. Not saying every time, but that deserves a lot more investigation, and I would certainly be focusing a lot on that, because you need to understand what's happened to the V5, where the V5 is, and why they don't match. This is a big deal. Okay, so the next thing that's worth doing, and it's the same deal really, DVLA, MOT history. Check the MOT history of the vehicle, this is fine. And we'll scroll down, start now, blah de blah de blah. Whiskey Mike 07 FKT. Continue. Shh, don't do that, don't know. So when you look at it, MOT history, show, and we can scroll down through this. And what we're really looking for, so we know Yaris's fail on corrosion, and there's a little bit of corrosion there on the brake pipes. And you can see over the years the MOT list has got bigger and bigger. But mainly, this is small stuff. Rear position lamp. Tyres, suspension bits. Oh look, that lower suspension arm has been running for some time, isn't it? So, have a look at that. Corrosion is a problem. You have to, and for cars of this age, you have to be prepared to deal with corrosion. But it's before you even go and look at it, if there's lots and lots and lots of mentions of corrosion on the history, it's definitely worth spending more time looking for corrosion, because while you might be quite comfortable welding it up, and that's absolutely fine, what you have to do is to reflect that in the cost that you pay for it. It's simple. Everything's got a value, but if it's corroded, its value is less than perhaps they might be asking for it.
Hello YouTube, I have a favour to ask you. So we put a lot of effort into making these videos, and it'd be really meaningful to us if you could give us some more engagement. Drop a comment if you enjoy the videos. Thank you.
So we buy cars in a very systematic way, and one of the best ways that we found of doing it is with a checklist. So we'll start off from the top. Let's check when the MOT is due, and we can do this online. We can check MOT status on the DVLA website, and we can also check the V5, and we'll come back to the V5. Don't buy a car without a V5, it's a nightmare. And look, this is really, really basic. There is nothing complicated in this at all, but it is systematic and it does expose faults. The first thing, just check the lights, right? This is really basic. Check the lights. If you're going to drive it home, you want to know that the lights are working. So we have front lights, side lights, indicators right. And we can check the brake lights in the same way. Right, this is not complicated stuff. So let's have a look. Then we'll check tyre pressures. So I've purposely put the tyres like this. So now you can see the whole of the tyre. And what you'll often find, if there's tracking or suspension errors, you'll see wear on the inside or the outside of the tyre. Now this tyre is pretty good. We can see that we've got good tread right the way across the width of the tyre, and this is fine. No problem at all with this. It's a decent tyre. And check the four of them. So this one, it's the same. So because of these, because of the quality of the tyres and because of the wear pattern on the tyre, I'm not expecting a huge amount of suspension problem on this. Have a look at the back. And we can't see the back as well, but what we can do is rub our fingers across it, and we're looking to feel these little tread patterns on the inside and the outside. It's really simple stuff. We'll check the fourth one. And again, we'll check the fourth one, everything's fine. No problem at all here. We check the horn. Now, I'm rather embarrassed because this is just about to go for an MOT, and I happen to know that the horn don't work. Shh, don't tell the MOT man. So then, this is a really nifty one to check, right? It's really straightforward. Ignition on. Check the blower fan is working. Right, a blower fan not working is a few £100 to fix, and a really awkward job. Why would you buy a car with a known fault like that? Okay, so then take the key, put it in the door, check the key operates the door, right? There are so many occasions where the key doesn't operate the door. Locked, unlocked. So far we have done absolutely nothing that is complicated. This gets a bit more complicated. Into the bonnet. So a couple of things I like to do. First of all, Put your hand on the engine. This is a warm engine. When I'm buying a car, I don't like a warm engine. I would much prefer to have it started on cold. So this is warm. If I was buying this, I would be maybe a little suspicious. So then we're going to check the oil. Oil's good. Oil looks nice and clean. No problem with that. Water looks good. Brake fluid under there is fine. And again, this is not complicated stuff. So this gets a bit more complicated. If we take this off here, what we're looking in here, we're looking for mayonnaise and smells and steam coming out of here. This is fine. That's how it should look. It's absolutely fine. No trouble at all with that. Mind you, this is a Toyota engine, so what would you expect? So then, we'll check the radio. Right, so a radio for me is a bit marginal.
The Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, says...
There we are, the radio works. And on another side, cars that are generally tuned to Nation FM, Heart FM, Radio 1, etc, 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 are often much more trouble than cars that are tuned to Radio 2 and Radio 4. If you're going to do something, if you do no other check to see what the radio is tuned to. If it's tuned to Radio 2 and Radio 4, you know, you're probably in with a decent bet. I know, everyone's going to laugh at that. Doesn't make it less true though. Okay, so then we're going to check the electric windows. And the electric windows work. And again, this is a Toyota, so what would you expect? So it's fine. So then we're going to check the washers and the wipers. This is not, again, we're going through all these things. This is really not a big deal. It's really, really straightforward and simple. But what it is, it's doing it systematically. It's doing it really, really systematically. Then we're going to check the mirrors. So if we've got mirrors, let's have the ignition on again. So mirrors work, mirrors up, mirrors down, mirrors left, or mirrors right in fact, mirrors left, and the other side exactly the same. And all those work fine. We like to have a spare key. Right, a spare key is a nice thing to have, but it's not a disaster if you don't. But spare keys are typically, I know, £200. It's worth a point. Then comes the more complicated bit. This is where you need to do your homework. Any car has specific faults. You need to know what those specific faults are. So if you're buying on Marketplace, Marketplace is a place for sharks. So you need to know what you're doing. So we're looking now, Yaris's in particular, they rust under here. So we are going to have a look under here to see whether it's rusty. And you can see that there's some rust come in there, but it's solid enough, it's okay. Yaris is also rust on the back axle. This one's a new back axle, but it's one of the things that, you know, you might be in for if you buy one of these without checking it. And we'll have a general look round. So the thing that people check, they always check the bodywork. But actually the bodywork is the least important of the things because you can see it. Doesn't matter, does it? It's very obvious whether it's a problem or not. Then, and finally, when everything is done, then you can start it. If it's a diesel, well, does it start straightforward and easily? And you can check the clutch by slipping the clutch, and it should stall the car like so. Again, occasionally you're gonna make a mistake on that, but if you're buying car after car after car after car, this checklist will really pick things up, and you'll be surprised. A bit of welding or a clutch is often cheaper than changing keys and a bloody blower motor. So let me talk about price for a minute, right? Because price really irritates me on times. You have just found the car. It has gone through all your checks. You've checked the tyres, you've checked the clutch, you've checked the engine's good, you've checked the windscreen blowers and the bloody wiper motors and all the other bits and pieces, and it's all fine, and you're looking at it and you're going, 550 quid? You've done your research, you sat on Facebook for hours and hours and hours looking at the prices of cars. Just be bloody realistic with the price, because there is nothing worse than somebody that having a car that you know is worth £1,000, let's say, and then somebody coming and saying, oh, I'll give you 500 quid for it. You've just completely wasted your time, completely, utterly wasted your time. You might go, oh, I tell you what, the tyres are worn, how about 100 quid off, because a set of tyres are going to be 100 quid. But don't be insulting, right? Don't be insulting. Pay what it's worth. Absolutely pay what it's worth, all the bloody time. On the other hand, if you've got a Yaris which has got rust on the back end and a rusty axle and no tyres and a blown head gasket and all the other things, and somebody is asking £2,500 for it, it's still only worth 500 quid. Don't offer £2,000 because they're asking 2,500 for it. Pay what it's worth. Pay what it's worth to you. And yeah, be realistic.